If you get the reference, bonus points. So, let's discuss the stream before we really get underway here with what is going to be the Melee only challenge, which I will discuss a little bit further. The stream was set to come back 425, and we were dead set on that. My grandma, she hit a PR in PT. She walked 4 laps. We were super excited about it. Again, if you get the reference, Celine, and you get how she looks, I want you to go ahead and dry hump that sub button. Finger waggle that like button. And comment in the comments below. She hit a PR, 4 laps. That very same day, she was struggling to keep her eyes open and felt sure she was going to die. That's how it's been. I was over ambitious about when we could get back, and I apologize for that. I'm sorry. It's been a year. It's been a year since I streamed, and I think about it every day. I'm very distraught about it, to be honest with you. You know, go ahead and give me some money on Pay Me Ton. I'm just kidding. I am really upset about it, though, and, you know, I question the future and everything, especially after this kind of time off, and how much Twitch has changed. When I came onto the platform in 15, 16, it's a very different Twitch. I still plan on coming back, absolutely intend to come back. The thing is, I'll have to turn the game volume up some. With Grandma right now, it's touch and go. She is making progress. As much as she likes to think she isn't making progress, she is making progress little by little every day, and we're gonna get there. I'm hoping before my birthday, which, oh my god, is what, in like a month now? I can't believe I'm gonna be 31 that soon. I still am like, life has been so crazy these last few months that I'm like thinking it's 3 months away. It's like 6 weeks away. Before my 31st birthday, that'd be cool to get back to be live. Right now, what I can do is YouTube. Because YouTube, if Grandma needs me, I can leave, I can go help her, and I can come back. I can pause the recording. I can literally just get down here when I can get down here and do some work. And with streaming, I know that it needs to be on a schedule when we come back. So, like I said, I'm sorry. It really does bother me, but for now, this is what I feel like I can do safely. When I mean safely, I mean if she needs me, because I am now the primary caretaker. We've lost care tenders, some other stuff's been going on behind the scenes. It's basically just means that it's me now, and that's all. And she needs me for, you know, everything, but that's 3 minutes of the time now taken up. Just know, think about you guys all the time, and there is no intention to quit. I know this has been a crazy long hiatus, furlough, whatever you want to call it at this point. There's been a lot of good reasons for that, though. And, you know, a lot of it is tough for me to even justify on my own mind, but there's been a lot of life that's been living, and I do intend, absolutely, to be back. I've explained it on Discord and so on and so forth, what's happened with that. So let's get to this playthrough. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's not too bad for something we've covered quite a bit. Wonderlands. I'm still playing Wonderlands. I think I'm like one of 6 people still playing Wonderlands. I don't enjoy it as much as I did when it first came out. I went really hard in that first month. I think that I've got opinion videos on it, so I'm not going to dig into that. This is a challenge run, though. I was going to do this live Monday. I was going to do this. I was going to start this character on 425 and do this live. But alas, Babylon, that wasn't to be, because I told you why. And that became literally the theme of that whole week, by the way. There was like literally 3 days in a row where we thought she was going to die. And she's, thank God, still here. She made it through, and she's slowly but surely getting better. But basically the way to maintain that is to be vigilant, stay on top of it, and I spend at least the first 6 hours of my day with her. And then, of course, I have other shit I'm doing on top of that. I should change the subject and get to the point of this playthrough and try to keep it on that. This is a melee-only playthrough. I got lots of opinion videos on Wonderlands. I've got a Let's Play with the nephew that the DLC will record hopefully next week. We have an Astroneer Let's Play up right now. When Update 30 goes live, State of Decay is going to get a Let's Play. I know this would be great on stream. That's where it would be best. And let me know in the comments below if you guys are willing to accept the idea that streams happen whenever and might only last 2 hours. and sometimes an hour. If you guys are cool with that, like so long as it's live, hey, you let me know. But if it's like, yeah, you probably should wait until you can at least do 4 to 6 hours on somewhat of a set schedule, well, then we're going to have to keep waiting. Melee only run. I have skipped, I've done everything melee thus far. I can promise you that. But I've skipped this is where I think you should come in on Wonderlands when you start a new character. Chaos levels need to be account wide. All collectibles need to be account wide. And I'd even argue SDU should be account wide. But the number one thing they should do for anybody who's making alternate characters right now, people hate the word tunes, but I'll use the word tunes, fate makers, whatever you want to call them, brah. It's like me offloading 6 minutes now. 6 minutes of dialogue for you. The dealio is you should start at Zomboss. Zomboss is like the last of the little tutorial section. And yeah, they still kind of hold your hand a little while longer, but oh my god, I've got like a week and a half playtime in this game now. I've played Borderlands for 10 years. Let me skip the tutorial area, please. But I get it, they built it in, so I'm struggling with this, and I thought, god darn it, I'm not going to do this whole melee let's play, because I wanted to start a new character. I want to do a melee guy, and like I said, it was going to be streamed, and I didn't get to stream that day, so I still like started it because I wanted to do this. And the decision I made today, while Grandma takes a nap, is I'm going to at least let's play this, and this is a good place to start. I've not been able to beat Zomboss to this point, so this seems as good a time as any to take our melee-only character again. If you get the reference, Celine. Bonus points to you. And as you can see, it's just not going well. So I'm probably going to drop it down to balanced, because I'm pretty sure Zomboss scales with me, even if I do go grind some encampments and so forth. And we'll start this Let's Play. This is a Let's Play that is probably just the main story as well, and getting to level 40. It'd be interesting. I'll say that. Oh, I'm not allowed to use spells either, which is kind of annoying, but I feel like them's the rules. Melee only's melee only. As you can see, Zomboss not going well for me. So do we go grind a level, or do I just temporarily drop the difficulty? Because I've got it on intense right now. Thinking, oh yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, right, to see Chaos level 35. I have my main, and I've got him to Chaos level 35. I've got an alt that I was having a ton of fun with, and I collected the dice over again. You want to see some bullshit? This is some bullshit. I've 100% of this game twice. Twice I've 100% of this game. Dice and everything before that patch happened, and I've yet to get the achievement for it. I just don't know how much they care about this game. It feels like it's a very by the numbers. It's on a set schedule. Once the year's over, it's over. I think they probably should have just went ahead and made this a DLC and kept working on Borderlands 3. Let's see if going with some poison damage can do it. Even though I like this game more than Borderlands 3. But Borderlands 3 literally has an event right now for raid bosses. I went into this in the DLC review, and it's right on top of this DLC that's not going well. People, you know, by and large, I don't think there's anyone in the community that's really defended it. There's people who say like, hey, I kind of see what they're going for. There's some good points to this. See, the melee only Let's Play is going well. Which is to say that, if we ran a Chaos level 35, that'd probably be entertaining, but I don't know that my sanity or I even have the skill to do it. I will say by doing melee only, though, I'm learning more about the game in a really weird way. I'm learning, one, melee is super annoying because it locks on. When you start to swing, you're basically locked onto the torso, and it's super hard to aim it. And so crits are like Morrowind back in the day. It's all on your stats. Second thing is, I could totally dodge way more attacks than what I do. I usually just stand there and take stuff, but there is some shooter elements to missing stuff. Only problem is in playing melee, which, hey, Wrath, by the way, spin to win. This is 100% Wrath. At the same time, as much as this Let's Play is going for shit, I like it because it's keeping it fresh. It's forcing me to play a different way. I've not messed with melee at all. And forcing myself to only use melee, even though I'm failing over and over again, is made a game that was getting stale awful quick. Especially a AAA game, getting stale awful quick. And just injected a little bit more life into it for now. This is something I see. I could dodge these attacks probably, and that might get us through this. Oh, here we go. Oh, we'll get at least 1 second wind. Maybe if I can apply a dot. One thing I'm going with this character is I'm going for... looks like we failed again. Tons of status effect damage. And seeing if maybe that can help. Another thing, myth rank. Once you beat this game once... Oh, look at, speaking of Morrowind, look at that. Once you beat this game once... I should just be able to access myth rank, like you can badass rank, and like you can guardian rank in BL3. It has to be level 40. Why can't we be gaining XP to both things? It's not like I'm gonna gain a rank, but if none of the work that's being done in myth rank applies to new characters, I don't see the point. Because badass rank, the fun part was always having a new character, because that's when you can actually feel that power. You don't really feel it at endgame because it's too marginal, it's too small. But in these early games, when the numbers are 2s and 3s, you actually see that changing things. I kind of don't want to take it off intense because that feels like it's a challenge run, and that's an equal part of the challenge. Hold on, I need to up the brightness on this. This is using that new capture card, by the way, that I spent 400 bucks on. I spent the last of my pandemic money on this capture card because it was on sale. It's usually $1,000. I got it for 400. It's noisy as hell, and I'm not sure I should have bought it because I still haven't streamed. But I did, and it's supposed to be a workhorse, so there's that. Okay, I got a Dreadwind. His armor's gone. Is it gonna be deja vu? I'm glad that... You know what I should do is I should stay alive, if I can, until I have another Dreadwind. This is gonna be like the Astroneer Let's Play that we have going on currently, that is just... Hey, look! It's... that'll give me a dot. It's me digging. This episode I'll be digging. The next episode I'll be digging. This episode will be digging. I got a real special one for you coming up. I'll be digging. Oddly enough, I started finally getting into that game, and then the nephew's like not able to stay, and I'm probably gonna come back and not even know the game again and hate it. Oh, we're so close. Thank God. And I'm glad we did it while we're recording. It's official. Once I've got it started, so it's a lot easier to keep it going. This is another reason I'm liking this challenge run, though. See, it's making me think. I don't care about reload speed and weapon swap speed. Doesn't matter to me right now. Damage dealt to enemies that are slow. Now that could be useful. But this one's really good because we get damage reduction and damage for being closer. We have to make a character that can only do melee. And where do I have a bunch of points in? Skill cooldown. I thought I was going for status damage. I don't have much in there at all. I guess I was going full skill cooldown. Oh, I know it. Stabomancer. I started a Stabomancer. Not a challenge run. Maybe I should turn it into a challenge run, but I'm not sure what. And the deal with that was I was going to try to make it like a super dot character. I'm going to do it just for the capacity. One thing about these class mods is I miss having, in BL3, I think they had like some text underneath to tell you exactly what those skills were. Oh, melee damage 2, and then what's that axe? Whenever a Fatemaker deals melee damage to an enemy, there's a chance to release a Frost Nova. Now that'll go down there and apply a point, right? We don't have to actually get down there. At least in Borderlands 3, you didn't. You'd think after a month of this game that I'd already know. I have to log into State of Decay 2 anyway, because they got... It's kind of unbelievable, the 4-year anniversary of the game right now going on. And you gotta log in to get that Trumbull 4x4. That's the one bad thing, man. I want that 4x4. If you log in, that should be a permanent vehicle you can call in, because it's probably the best vehicle in the whole damn game. Yeah. Yours. I think they must have spent half their budget on getting celebrity voice actors. It's got to be the reason the game's also super short, which is not a bad thing. I like that the campaign's nice and short. There's a ton of content in Borderlands 3. I started playing it a week before this game came out, trying to get hyped, and I was like immediately kind of into it again. I still think they should have supported it another couple of years and really gone all out, but, well, you know. Solar panels being installed over canals in India. That's genius. Love stuff like that, man. And so as much as these Let's Plays seem like, oh, you're able to like just sit there and just go, and why wouldn't you just stream these? It seems that way. If there's anyone watching the Astroneer Let's Play, which I think there isn't, except for Tucker, you might notice there's actually a lot of interruptions. Like right now it's 5 o'clock. In less than an hour, I've got to get upstairs, get Grandma her dinner and pills, which usually takes me about 2.5 hours. Which is where I was leaning towards just doing a 2 to 6 stream. I think maybe I just need to accept that the world's changed, man. The fun days of... It's 2. Let's go until 3 a.m. because screw it. Them's over, baby. Them's over. Been over. They'd been over before. That's the problem, is Grandma was already at a point where I needed to help her that much that it was really kind of like, maybe you shouldn't do... Oh, thunder. I love the sound of thunder. I love thunderstorms. This looks good. It's super bright now, but... People have been giving this game's OST a lot of shit, but I actually like it. There's just not that many songs. I really like the overworld, and I really like the overworld's OST. So subclass is a thing we have to have a lot of thinking, thought on. Luckily we can reroll it whenever, but Stabomancer has a lot of melee stuff in it, but I believe it usually requires you shoot somebody first, and we can't be doing any shooting. No shoot, no pews, no nothing. It doesn't require swinging a bonk. Okay. Need some better gear. At least that's got a dot. But now I realize, hey, I wasn't going for a dot build apparently. Just throw shit out. It's early game. Don't overthink any of this. Loot as trash. And you know what? Do one better, Gearbox. Just let us sell from the floor. Screw it. This game's all about cutting fat anymore, right? Quality of life changes. If you don't want to loot as trash button, that's cool. That's fine. Here's what you do. Let us just sell it from the ground. Hell, I think they could add a companion class that goes out and sells stuff for you. That's really the way they want to play it. Half off STUs is nice. Start a new show. Go to the Soda Tavern. 6 feet under. We'll do the side quests too. Side quests are useful. I was level 40. And see, first interruption. What do you know? It took like 2 minutes. Okay, distraction over. How long should an episode be? I think we should do this State of Decay style. And we should accomplish certain goals, and then we'll say, hey, that's a good place. Stop for an episode. Zomboss beat is how we started, though. You want to see how to make a ton of money? This is like a Borderlands 2 trick. This will all be really high level stuff. That I want the level cap to go up just so I can completely empty my bank out. I'm so close to just saying screw it and emptying my bank. Hey, ability damage will actually be something I want to wear for once. See, this is why this is worth doing. It makes me change things up. Otherwise, it's just the same old builds, the same old guns, the same old equipment. Now, that's not to say this will work. It'll probably fail spectacularly, but it changes things up. It doesn't mean things are more viable, though, because they largely aren't. Melee weapons. See, I've not even paid attention to melee damage. Ability rings. There's all kinds of melee weapons. Now we're pretty rich and we can go spam out some SDUs. Those $15, that'll go a long way. See, maybe this should all just be account wide. I wonder why it's gold though. Because it's half off. See, none of this other stuff actually matters for this run. We can't do anything. This, by far the weakest weapon class, is the heavies. Snipers could use a buff. I love sniping. Another buff on top of the 20%, yes, but they need more mechanics to help them out. There's no like sniper class like there was in pre-sequel, or even with Zane to a degree in or Sniper Zane. And unfortunately there's never been armor breakers. It almost looks like it's gonna be something, doesn't it? I'll probably do a white guns only run. Maybe that's what the Stabomancer should be. Yeah, that could work. And I'll really give you bonus points if you can figure out what I was doing with the Stabomancer. I just need to go to the overworld. There's no reason to run through all this stuff. And I finally have been able to give myself a break on the collectibles. I've done it twice now. The dice are found. Nothing else has relevance to endgame, so screw it. I'm just playing. I've even been doing the Cult of the Dragon Lord symbols, and I'll probably keep doing it on my main in the Spore Warden since I've done so much. But otherwise, I'm over it. Maybe we'll beat this section. That'll probably be a good place. Alrighty. Back to the Queen's Gate. You gotta love the environments in this game, though. They did do a nice job on that, even though I can tell that's like Daggerfall days. That is 100% just like a 2D texture. But the foreground, big difference being in a Bethesda game, you can go to that background. You can go to that mountain. You see that hill? You see that mountain? Build videos, that's something I was going to do in this game, but it turns out to be pretty difficult to do it. And the reason is simple. There is very little dedicated farming in this game. It's almost all world drop. So I want some very specific pieces of gear to make a very specific build work that I haven't actually seen yet. Most builds, you know, are already on YouTube, and guys like Moxie, I don't know if they like share the work throughout their community, and that's how he's so on with finding the builds that go crazy, but there's just no topping that. I mean, and there's only a few builds that really just melt the hell out of stuff at Chaos level 35, which leaves me with only one avenue for content now in my life. Challenge runs. Boy, those have been doing well. All right, let's start off with this, and I guess we'll just try to make the cooldown really fast on this guy. And hey, if it's viable, that might be the one way that I can come up with a build video. If we can find a way to make this melee thing work, but I'm pretty sure Jolt's dude already released like a 7.5 million damage. The Borderlands community is, as far as gaming goes, you know, it's a little bit of an older community at this point, so it's established, and there is definitely set content creators for it. From the tail end of the Borderlands days, really you can go from the beginning of the Destiny days, because you got Gathalion, you had Balru, and you had Morning After Kill, who's still kind of the Borderlands community, but also like a pariah for a few reasons that not even worth going into. But pretty much Killer 6, Jolt's dude, Moxie. There are a couple people rising up in the Wonderlands group that are just unique to Wonderland. That's why I see like the Battleborn thing happening all over again. There's a few people definitely who were like, you know what? I've never played Borderlands, but I'm going to play Wonderlands. And they're just going hard and dedicating content to it and building a little community up. It's another reason I don't fully understand Gearbox's like idea with making this an IP, because it's 100% Borderlands. Why would you make two games that occupy basically the same space, the same ideas, the same universe, and the same gameplay, and then say compete? They're two separate things. See, that was a crit. It wasn't where I swung, it just randomly rolled. I like that this one sounds meaty. See, melee does the job. It's just that there's nothing to it. I'm just holding down the swing button and, you know. As long as I got the damage. That's Borderlands for you. By and large, outside of the pre-sequel, it's just too bad that the pre-sequel doesn't have the gameplay to make the builds, to back up the builds. Do I even have a ring slot yet? You might have the first ring slot. Nope. It's the biggest reason to get through the main story as fast as humanly possible is just to unlock the slots. I think I'm gonna have to side quest though, just to have the levels and damage, because I couldn't even beat Zomboss. The largest part of this. Look, it's townsfolk. Man, the detail, the realism, the immersion. So much detail. 76 times the detail. Look, these guys are sword fighting, flirting, falling in love. 10 times the detail. There's Oma. She needs those goggles. Those PlayStation 2 era art assets around those goggles. Oh, kill the goblins. And we're gonna run into the big Borderlands issue. I almost missed Borderlands 1 for this. People say, oh my god, you don't know gaming then, but in Borderlands 1 it was usually just like, go do this thing. You didn't have to listen to anybody. Or they talked in the background. It's good to listen to people. Like, it's not like the writing's terrible or anything. It's just sometimes I just hate standing there, especially in a video game. I want to do something. Just let me shoot stuff while you talk. Then we good. Now, goblins are usually the easiest characters in the game, and these are runts, and this melee character is already gone down. Let's go ahead and do a Wrath spin to win. I miss sitting around a corner. He used to get this thing all the time. When Battleborn first came out, like a 10-second cooldown or something crazy. I just think the Gearbox needs to do something like Battleborn again. Overwatch 2, you know, it sucks. It's just Overwatch 1 all over again. 1.5 some say, but it just seems like it's the same damn game. They're calling it a sequel. It took like 10 years. And Battleborn was just better and more creative and more interesting and a lot more robust as a game. Gearbox doesn't want to do PvP at all anymore, though, I think. Like, this game doesn't even have dueling. I would love for an off-the-wall Borderlands-esque PvP, Battleborn-esque game to come out again. Just completely out of nowhere. I actually think it would do really well right now because there's so much stuff that is just the same stuff.
I guess I'll throw them away for you.
Even this, because it's just, you know, more Borderlands. Like, it was neat when it first came out, and Borderlands 2 was really the perfection of the whole thing, and, like, it's good. It's improved. It has. But it's not as, like, whoa. A billion guns, kinda. Cel-shaded graphics. Action RPG mechanics in a shooter. Whoa. That's sort of the thing now. Has been, really. There's been a lot of change in this genre. And I like Wonderlands. It's not bad at all. And they've definitely come a long way in their RPG, ability to make RPGs. I think they still gotta try to tread some new ground. Because one playthrough and really taking my time with it and doing everything, and like, that's a lot of gameplay, but it wasn't all like, yeah, this is freaking great. And that's kind of what you can get out of this game, if you're being honest, if you're not like me and like literally made your name after the whole content creation thing after this game. There's virtually no reason to do any more. In fact, you could do a lot less than what I did with that first character, which is on the YouTube. It's the one that Tucker and I did together. That's what I got now, though. OBS, hit record, run around the circle. See, this is what I mean, like, what the hell's going on right now? I mean, it took a little extra time to return to Alma, but holy shit. Let's move it along.
Flowers? From whom?
The farmer. She's got her eye on you.
As if I could be seen knocking boots with that poor thing. Perhaps when pigs fly, or water flows backwards, or a polka-dotted poetry-reading goblin recites a love poem for me. Good day.
Did I hear that right? A polka-dotted poet goblin? You know, I could do that actually. First, we'll need to attract another goblin. Find me the most.
If we have to go on these again, this is probably the only thing worth recording, is the struggle of getting these to launch only using melee.
You sure? I don't know. Only one way to find out, right?
All right, combat. It happened. It took 5 minutes of figuring out commentary, but it's happening. I opened the door because there was a nice, gentle rainstorm rolling in, and immediately it stopped, and it just became muggy, gray Ohio again. And I think as we melee these runs and realize we can't use this Hyperius weapon, that will be the first episode.